Okay, this is part 2 in my short video series discussing the cult of personality, specifically as it deals with Tulsi Gabbard. Now, I don't know if you know the significance of the World Economic Forum or who the founder is, but if you don't, just to get you up to speed, I would do a little bit of research on who globalist Klaus eat the bugs, you shall own nothing and be happy Schwab actually is, because in his own words, using his own terminology, looking at the events that he attends and sets up, it sure looks like he's a globalist that intends to do things that may not work in the benefit of Americans and their freedoms. And the reason I mention that is because one of the 2015 young global leaders for the World Economic Forum was Tulsi Gabbard. Now, Tulsi Gabbard at the time says, quote, "I'm honored to be selected as one of the young global leaders representing Hawaii among leaders from around the world." So she is honored to be selected by Klaus Schwab as a young global leader. If that doesn't set off alarm bells, I don't know what will. Now, Tulsi Gabbard was specifically confronted about this face-to-face by Derek Broze, independent journalist, and he truly is an independent journalist, Derek Broze. And this is how Tulsi Gabbard responded to the inquiry.
Oh, okay, I'm headed out as well.
No, I'm sorry. We really don't have time, though.
I appreciate that. I'm just really
I don't know if you want to... Where are you guys based out of?
I'm based in Houston originally, and I do independent media.
Okay.
And I'm here as a speaker. I'm also candidate for mayor of Houston right now, so I was kind of here on that issue. But I just wanted to. A lot of my audience follows your work and supports everything that you do. So I just wanted to ask a question.
Yeah, I got literally like 30 seconds. But...
Okay, I've got 30 seconds with you then. There's people who really support your anti-war stances, and there's others who have concerns that you've addressed about alleged connections to the World Economic Forum, young global leaders. And I heard on Dr. Drew, you said that, that wasn't true. So I just wanted to give you a chance to elaborate on that.
I've talked about this in different podcasts, Dr. Drew's podcast, Cameron Haynes' podcast. Mickey Willis just talked a little bit about it. There's not much more to say other than the fact that they put me on their website. That's pretty much it.
You don't know why they put you there?
Well, that's a much longer conversation. I can guess why they probably did.
What about this 2015 tweet from you that says, "I'm honored to be selected as the 2015 Young Global Leaders"? Is this your tweet?
Yeah, it is.
So does that mean that you were selected as a Young Global Leader?
They put me on their website.
And you're saying you're honored to be selected
we
as
gotta
a...
go. We give you 30 seconds.
All right, buddy.
I put out the tweet thinking, hey, here's an opportunity for me to represent my community. Didn't know much about the World Economic Forum, what they were about, what they stood for. I'd never gotten a phone call from them, didn't know anything other than seeing my name pop up on their website.
Have you asked them to take your name down?
We're done.
We have.
You have?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Long time ago.
I'm just giving her a chance to address it further.
Yeah.
Thank
Well,
you.
I've addressed it over and over. I got nothing to hide.
I haven't heard much beyond Dr. Drew, so thank you again for addressing that.
And I really appreciate Derek Broze sticking this out here, because Tulsi Gabbard does say, and words have meaning, that she is honored to be selected by Klaus Schwab and the WEF. No matter what you say you knew, you were still honored. Second of all, I just want to reiterate that Tulsi Gabbard's view on guns, and therefore on the American people and the safety of the American people, is not just abysmal, it is criminal from the perspective of the Second Amendment. You have the right to keep and bear arms, and that right shall not be infringed. So what if somebody infringes on your unalienable right to keep and bear arms? Then that person is your enemy. And from the perspective of the Second Amendment, that person is attempting to commit a criminal act against you, because if they want to ban something, or if they want to make it difficult for you to reach out your hand and get a personal protection device, they are operating in real time as your enemy. Tulsi Gabbard has been and still is one of those people. I'm going to show you a tweet by her, and I'm going to show you, this comes straight from her website. She supports universal background checks. What does that mean? You need to get permission from the government. Oh, please make sure government look into my background and see that I'm a good person, and then give me a permission slip so that I can have a right that I already have anyway, closing the gun show loophole. And that means that you can buy a gun from a private party at a gun show, and they want to make that impossible because they want to cover it up with regulations and infringements. And she wants a federal ban on whatever military style assault weapons are. And this is her exact tweet. She says, "We don't have to wait to pass legislation. Tyranny," that's tyranny. Legislation is another word for tyranny in regard to this, already supported by a majority of Americans, like universal background checks, closing the gun show loophole, and reinstating a federal ban on military style assault weapons. And let me just put this into perspective. When you ban something from an American, if that American attempts to buy that thing that's banned or continue to possess the thing that's banned, then that person becomes a criminal in the eyes of the state. In other words, Tulsi Gabbard wants hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of Americans who own these weapons to be criminalized and to be seen as criminals worthy of prosecution in the United States. Is that a friend or is that an enemy? And there's more that we can talk about, but I want to kind of end with this because I wanted the first video just to be completely about her flip-flopping on Section 702 of FISA, which authorizes the United States government to spy on you and I without a warrant, which is against the Fourth Amendment. So Tulsi Gabbard is decidedly against the Second Amendment, as we've established from her own words, and from her own words right now as she's seeking to be the director of national intelligence under Donald J. Trump. She's backed off on wanting to repeal Section 702 of FISA. She also is a lieutenant colonel in the United States Army Reserve, and she's been involved in units associated with psychological operations and civil affairs. Now, if you don't know what psychological operations are, we talk about it a lot on this channel. This right here is from goarmy.com. This is the official website of the United States military, the Army. And this is under careers and jobs where they're looking for psychological operations operators. Become a master of influence. Psychological operations or PSYOP soldiers use expert communication skills and unconventional tactics to support U.S. Army objectives. Be a strategic thinker and skilled communicator. PSYOP soldiers support Army missions by using intelligence, interpersonal skills, cultural sensitivity, and foreign language proficiency to affect the actions and opinions of foreign individuals, groups, and governments. And Tulsi Gabbard is operating as a civil affairs and a psychological operations command officer in the Army Reserves. Is a PSYOPs officer, can a well-trained PSYOPs officer, a high-level lieutenant colonel in the U.S. Army Reserves, be on your side while continuing to maintain the gun stance that she maintains, while being honored to be a part of the World Economic Forum Young Global Leaders, and while now supporting Section 702 of FISA that authorizes the U.S. government to spy on Americans without a warrant? I'll leave that to you to answer in the positive or the negative. Thanks for watching this video. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification icon, give it a thumbs up, share it with everybody you know. Don't forget to subscribe to my email list through my website, highimpactflix.com. And before you go anywhere, do me a favor. Please take a second to go to the main page of my channel. And if you haven't seen the last video that I did on Tulsi, you got to check it out right there. Don't miss that one. But I definitely want you to watch this video right here called Easily Control a Crowd of Normal People, because this describes in detail exactly what you're seeing today. Why are people acting the way they're acting? Why are they saying what they're saying? Why are they doing what they're doing? It breaks it down in full. If you like that video, please share it with everybody you know. I'm trying to get this channel to take off because truth fears no scrutiny. And if we can plant seeds of truth, then we can push back the great big lie. I will see you in the next video.